Hi, welcome to another week of our career engagement where we share tips and insights about how you can take your career to the next level. We've discussed a couple of things over the last week, particularly about getting ready for a successful career. We'll take it further from there, and today we want to look at what it is to have a career playbook. Let me ask you a question. Do you have a career playbook? Is there something that you have that guides you in terms of what your career should look like, how you should pursue your career, the things that you need to have in place, the do's and the don'ts that would allow you to have a successful career? Join me as we carry along in this conversation. My hope, as usual, is that you will find a thing or two that will be of immense benefit to you as you're shaping your career towards a successful path. All right, welcome. So I asked the question earlier, where is your career playbook? So what is a career playbook? It is just a buzzword. However, what it means is essentially to have a career plan. What exactly is your plan for your career? What exactly are the key performance indicators that you have set to measure your success in terms of how you pursue your career and how you achieve the goals that you have set for yourself? Let's give an example. You come out of the university or the college. Your preference is to become an accountant. What will be damaging is for you not to have a definitive plan on what exactly you would require to become an accountant. Say, for example, you went to school and you didn't study a course in accounting, but you have a strong desire to become an accountant. So what exactly do you need to do to become one? And how exactly would you be successful becoming an accountant? So the do's and don'ts, the goal setting, the KPIs that you need to set to measure performance, and of course, the strategy and the approach towards how you would get a footing in an accounting profession, and ultimately how you become a successful accountant. All of this put together is what you typically would find in your career playbook. So essentially, your career playbook should describe things such as the choice of career that you intend to pursue. For example, you want to become a medical doctor, you want to become a theater artist, you want to become an investment banker, you want to become a management consultant, or you want to become an on-air personality. Depending on what your choice of career is, you need to have a definitive description of what exactly your career would be. And that's the starting point. The other things that you will need to have in your career playbook that are very critical are the requirements to be relevant in that chosen field. For example, if you want to become an accountant and you want to be successful, it is not enough to have a degree or a diploma in accounting, but it is important to also get some certification that would further strengthen your knowledge and capability in the practice of accounting. More importantly, there's a place of experience. You also need to have a plan on how exactly you want to get the experience that you need. So what type of experience would you be seeking out for? Do you want to work in the public sector? Or do you want to work in the private sector? Or perhaps you want to work in a non-for-profit organizations. How exactly do you want to achieve your career as an accountant. Each of these different sectors have their various requirements for play. So, the experience that you need to succeed in a private sector, it's somewhat different from the experience you need to succeed in a public sector. And of course, similarly, it's somewhat different from what you need to succeed also in a non-for-profit organization. And that's because there are peculiarities around each of these sectors that defines your professionalism and how you apply your knowledge to use. All of these critical requirements and how you apply your knowledge has to be a feature in your career playbook. You need to set a goal for yourself in terms of growth and aspiration. Typically, if you come out of the university or the college, you most likely will be getting into an organization at the entry level. Depending on the kind of organization you find yourself, there are different levels of experiences. In some organizations, you come in as an officer. In some places, you come in as an analyst. And then you grow through the ranks to the level of a manager, to the level of a senior manager. If the case is to the level of a director, and perhaps you could eventually become the managing director or a key decision maker in such organization. How you want to grow through the ranks and what your ultimate goal is for your career, it's important, and you need to have this in your career playbook. There's a saying that failing to plan is planning to fail. If indeed you want to succeed, you must have a very strong plan. You must have a very good plan. You must have a very smart plan. And of course, you must have a very workable plan. Your plan must be something that you can always iterate. Your plan must be something that you can always refine. It will be difficult for you to run with a plan that you cannot adjust and align with realities. You need to have a plan where you can check how far along the line you have achieved your targets. And where there are challenges with achieving your targets, you need to be able to define what is required for you to stay on track. All of this must be contained in your career playbook. Your career playbook must also include how not just you benefit yourself, but also how you add value to the larger society, to the environment, to the organization where you work, and of course to the people around you. Are there ways that you can give back to the society, for example, like what we are doing today? Are there ways where your knowledge and experience can be of use to a larger community? All of this must also be part of your career playbook. Your career needs to be balanced. No doubt about it, you require knowledge, insights, experience, skills for you to have a successful career. But there's also a place of balancing your career, so you need to have a well-balanced career. There are other activities that you need to be part of. For example, participating in conferences, participating in events, being a panelist in conversations of importance, being a contributor to discussions, to journals, to books, adding value and sharing your perspective regarding your views about how certain activities or certain things are done and how they impact the career of yourself and of course everyone as a whole. You need to be able to look at how your career presents bigger benefits from a bigger picture. It is important that you look at your career not just from the perspective of how it benefits you, but from the perspective of how it benefits the larger society. Your career is like a project. There is always a start time. Most likely and very likely there will be a stop time. What is your view of how long you intend to work? Is your plan to work for 20 years, for 10 years, for 5 years, for 15 years, for 35 years? Do you plan to stay on your job and retire on the job? Or is it a plan of yours to start your career in an organization, but exit at a point where you can set up a practice of your own or a company of your own? Your choice of whether you want to work in an organization until retirement, or you want to work in an organization for a time and pull out to set up your own business. This choice has to be something that would be important to include in your career playbook, as this would define how exactly you run your race. Remember, it is important for you to have a definitive plan and a workable plan for you to have a successful career. It is important for you to have a plan that can be adjustable and can be aligned with realities when the changes arises, when circumstances remain dynamic. So we'd like to encourage you today, if you don't have a career playbook, why not take some time out? Why not get a quiet space? Why not think through your career? You can start with a 5-year plan. Ensure that your 5-year plan includes what exactly you want to achieve in your career, how exactly you intend to achieve them, what the critical success factors will be to achieve what you need to achieve. And of course, you need to include a timeline for measuring performance of your achievements. If you have this in place, we have no doubt that you will be on a path towards a successful career. We'd like to thank you for joining us today, listening to this podcast. We are sure that you have been blessed. And if indeed you have been blessed with this, we'd like to encourage you that you share these podcasts with your friends, your associates, your colleagues, so that they also can share in the benefit that you have received today. We'd like to thank you one more time for finding time to listen to us. And we promise that we'll be with you again very soon. Thank you indeed for your time, and do have a wonderful time ahead. Bye-bye.